Our next speakers are Christian Heins, Director of iGaming at German market leader Tipico, and Stefan S. Schulz, who is Head of Acquisition at Tipico. Christian and Stefan are here to tell us more about Tipico's trusted partner program, which perhaps offers a way forward for holding suppliers accountable who continue to do business with black market operators. Christian and Stefan, please come to the stage. Thank you for coming over to Amsterdam this morning. And the stage is yours. Hey Stefan, thank you. You can sit down, you can stand, there's the clicker and it's all yours. Standing, seating, up to you.
Yeah, before I start, also from my end, thanks for having us, Willem, and also to your great team. And I think you really have a valuable contribution in shaping the legal markets in Europe. And there was all the conferences and also this year tonight. There's also nice guests here. And the great speaker line you have created, this is really a good thing. So thank you very much for having us. With me on stage, as said, is Stefan, is our mastermind, not only for acquisition, but also for branding and gamification. And as Willem already told you, I'm responsible for iGaming. This is the online casino business of Tipico, which is surprisingly the smaller part. You know, you've heard that in Holland, the online casino part is the bigger. No, so we are working for the market leader in sports betting. So, but still, we managed to triple our market share in the last 3 years. We have also become a market leader, but of course with less revenues than our big brother. I think before I'm going to kick you off, I want to show you a picture. A picture I shot last year in Malta on a conference called Sigma. I guess you know all of them. Now you've been there probably. And I think the picture I'm going to show you now stands for everything what's really going wrong in our industry. And this is this here. This is a booth of a payment service provider. And even the claim of this payment service provider is your money, your rules. So, well, I'm really trying to get the story together. So what really happened? So the marketing director one day came in the office and say, hey, Christina, write it down. I have a great idea for the next exhibition. Now we're going to stage our booth as a laundry, and then we have washing machines everywhere, and we paint them alarm red. And Christina, by the way, would be good if you have some underwear. We can put them there just to make it even a bit more spicy. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So no one is even trying to hide what they're doing anymore. They're doing it in public. And I think we heard also this before in one of the speeches. The lack of enforcement is a big problem to us. So again, they are not hiding. So even the Prime Minister of Malta was running around in the aisles of the exhibition and then passing by. What you can't see actually on this picture is next to it, we found a lot of law firms. Then we had tax advisors and also corporate relocation companies. So I took pictures of them. I think they're going to sue me then otherwise. No, I'm not so afraid of them, but well, just to say, it's a whole industry working for that. And in the same hall, you also find white label solutions. No, so you just have a plug and play ecosystem. You just go there and you get everything in one hall and yeah, and one strike. If we talk about the black market, I think it's clear that the black market chef needs at least 3 ingredients. So first is, of course, money needs to flow. There needs to be some payment solution in place to get the money in. Then, of course, they want to attract new users, so there must be some advertising options. And last but not least, they need content, because without content, there's no product. So the bad luck for this bloody beggar is he needs all 3 ingredients. It's not enough to have only 2 or 3. No, he needs all 3. And well, if you think it through, well, the slot games are, let's say, approved by our regulator. Payments, we have quite an intensive payment regulation in Germany as well. And last but not least, advertising is also highly regulated in Germany. There's no law saying you're allowed to promote black market casinos. So it's quite surprising that if you look at the next page, we come to a channelization success, at least for the online casino sector in Germany, of only 20%. So now you can argue, because also our authority is telling everyone, oh, it's only, I don't know, 5 or 10% black market, but it's completely nonsense, to be honest. No, you can ask, where do we have the number and the, let's say, the security that our numbers are right? Well, we switched off lately a few game providers who were providing also the entire black market in Germany, and they allowed us to have a look at their numbers. And the drop were between 75 and 80%. So if you lose 75 and 80%, and you have a turnover share, let's say in the legal market, of 15 to 25% in total, and you see the exact drop then when you switch the black market off of 75%, you can be very sure. But how do I come to 20%? Still, games from game providers could be found on black market casino sites without even that the game provider knows about that. No, because, for example, aggregators, those are companies who bundle a lot of content from different game studios, became also a bit, let's say, more sophisticated, and integrated a proxy service or a VPN tunnel into their solution. So if you switch off as an operator, as a game provider, for example, Germany or Holland, and then you don't find in the next moment any IP addresses more on your server, that does not mean that you're not available in Holland anymore. No? Because what they do is, then they disguise the IP address from Holland, for example, as a Swedish IP address whatsoever. So if you have a Swedish contracts up and running, you keep the business going. And well, with that, we know there is even a gray market which is, well, another 5 to 10% for sure. So let's say the 20% channelization rate is already on the positive end, I would say. And the result is clear. If you look at the German tax income since 2021, when the German license was introduced, it's a disaster. Yeah? So we really killed the market. No, so, and well, to be fair, there's a bit light, a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So the last 12 months it goes slightly up, but also this is nearly not measurable, to be honest. No? So the market in the moment is completely, at least the German market, in the hand of the black market. But yeah, the reason why I'm here is not to tell you what went wrong. But the reason why I'm here is to what we have done to tackle that. No? Because we have shown you, well, there are 3 essential ingredients, and now Stefan is going to tell you in the first step what we did to, well, let's say, to get the content under control again. Stefan,
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Stefan, as Christian mentioned, the head of brand, and we bring you today the idea of the Trusted Partner Initiative. So we understood quite early, or let me start differently. Different country, same problem, right? So obviously, huge black market impact. Obviously, we know where the root cause is. But if you look, it's very easy to say the black market is bad and someone needs to do something about it. But I think you pretty much understood already from all what we heard this morning and what we have seen now, it's quite complex. So there's politics involved, payment providers, there's operators, politicians, etc., etc. And we came quite early to the conclusion that we as market leader also have maybe a responsibility also, and we want to be a to-go person to assist with this. And assisting doesn't mean finger pointing. It means helping and bringing solutions. Knowing now, without going into it, and I'm pretty sure that Netherlands faces the same challenges right now when you look at the political landscape, what happens right now in Europe and across its borders, also in the US, I think we're pretty much in the same understanding that politics might not have a main interest right now to deal with our gambling sector as a top priority. So again, we came up with the idea to say, what can we do to assist this, and also to, came up with a simple concept which helps our customers to understand, first of all, what is a licensed operator and what is a black market operator. So I come from a catering background, and we asked ourselves last year, if you bring a very easy example, if you go in a supermarket today and you buy a piece of meat, ready packed, at the end of the day, it's very difficult for you to understand what is the supply chain behind this piece of meat. At the end of the day, you buy a product, you can do this with a casino product here, But same as our customer right now, he goes in a web browser, opens up a page, and basically not really understands, is this now a licensed operator, not licensed operator, is this good, is this bad, etc., etc. So obviously we have in Germany, from the regulatory body, a badge obviously, but we're not allowed to use it in marketing competition, in marketing communication. And that really wondered us a little bit. We can have it on page, but we cannot really promote it, and that's why we came up with the idea to launch our own badge or trusted partner initiative. Which is supposed to be, well, we come maybe, hold on a second. It's not there. Okay, we'll see it in a second then. So let me dive in quickly, first of all, how the whole thing works. So we as Tipico came up with the idea to speak with our biggest partners, our game operators, the content, as Christian has mentioned before. And we made it quite clear. We said to them, listen, we're all sitting here in the same boat. We're promoting your games, but on the other hand, you're also promoting the black market. It cannot work out. So we approached them and we told them it's absolutely fine. We have not really the chances to really and won't go into legal battles with you. But what we're going to do is now, you can join us now in this initiative, which means you're not offering your games and your content anymore to German players outside the regulation, or we stop promoting you. Simple as that. And when I mean promoting, means like a completely 360 approach, taking them out of the lobbies, taking them out of communication. They're basically not existing anymore in our products. It can be still found though, obviously. We have also shareholders behind us, so we have to keep that in mind. But obviously, as you're familiar with Tipico and our advertisement spend in Germany, it can be quite powerful. And in the first step, we launched it just 6 weeks ago, and that makes us extremely proud to be this morning here and talk outside of the German borders to be with you this morning. We have signed so far 9 partners which have joined our initiative and have provided them with a seal. There it is. This is the seal. So it's a non-binding seal which we provide to the operator, to the game suppliers, and those simply have not to serve anymore the black market, and in return, obviously, we give them, because they're missing also out their revenues, a huge brand exposure on our sites, in TVCs, in gamification, in newsletters, content, also SEO, etc., and also, of course, visibly on the site. How came we up with this? Well, this goes a lot with trust, right? It goes trust, it goes with business relationships. Christian had the idea last year in February already at ICE in London, where we started speaking with the partners, because we kept hearing also, black market, someone needs to do about something, and go to someone else, and he has come with the same story. And then we came up with the idea, okay, but at the end of the day, we need to come up with, a way of making this a bit more transparent. So we came up with the idea, we launched the seal this year in Barcelona, and in May also was a second step introduced, because as Christian touched, there's 3 ingredients we have to look at. It's content, pay providers, and also, of course, the games itself. We launched it in June now, and we estimate that we as Tipico Germany have our turnover and revenue by 90% covered in January. That's a huge number. We're already in the 80% now. That's just 6 weeks from launching. And of course, we're not getting tired to speak to our other operators who with us in the German regulated market, who have the same interest to join us in this initiative, and the feedback is overwhelming. The feedback is also that we're here this morning to speak to you again outside of the German borders. This is how it looks. It's a simple seal, but our customer gets now some clarification. We can promote this now, we can communicate this, and obviously we're also advertising this with the German regulatory body. You see the trust badge integrated on our product, on the site, on the lobby banners, and even in the communication. And of course, in the next step for us, we hope to aim also to get government approval for this to make this really official. This is basically the trust badge. We have already agreed. We have, as you see, a very easy to digest deck. We will provide this to all the audience today, so have a look at it. Obviously, have our contact details, and I will be also all day around to hopefully have a lot of conversations with you. But just the beginning now for the game operators, and as touched on already, Christian will sign off.
Yes. Maybe just one thing to add. So year to date, we're standing at 75%. So that was the latest number I just got sent by our operations team. And well, the 9th operator who has signed, we're going to start on 1st of July, I guess. So that will bring another 10 percentage points. So we're almost at 85% beginning of July. So 85% of our revenues are only generated with game providers who are not active in the black market anymore, at least not in Germany. And this is, I think, a very strong sign. And if you want to speak about success stories, I'm happy to do that. We are growing now by 30% compared to last year in a declining market, or at least in a market which is quite stable on a very low level, to put it that way. Now we are growing now because we are now getting all the players back looking for the game content that is not available all of a sudden in the black market anymore, and is like a Coke. And of course, there's Pepsi available, but if you want to drink a Coke, you need to come to the legal market now, and because the Coke is only there. So this is the thing how it works. And as you really said it nicely, by the way, we're not going to stop now because we remember this black market chef. So there are the other ingredients, and this is then payment and advertising. So we already reached out to all our payment service providers that we have integrated, and confronted them with our findings, where they are active, on which black market sites. And well, now we see how we get them out, and we already told them that we're not going to let this happen. So because also there is a financial authority in place, we need to make aware them of what's going on, etc. So, and well, I really give a shit, to be honest. Sorry, excuse my French, because in the end, even if PayPal would be the only one surviving this, then I'm doing this PayPal. But I know we need to really dry out the swamp. Otherwise, you can't get the black market under control. And again, we heard a lot of this skeptical voices, but how can you afford it? No, you will die. No, what we experience is consumer like what we are doing. So because we explain it to them, we don't think that the consumer is stupid. No? And we also know that if a consumer plays in the black market, he's not doing it because he's criminal, no, because, well, the products, if they're available in the legal market, are so restricted that they are boring. It's not the same fun anymore. No? So they might look like a Coke, no, but it's a Pepsi. No, that's it. So, and but if we explain them that there are certain rules we need to follow, that there's a regulation in place, no, that's also good for them, then I get the consumer across. And I'm quite sure that, well, if we would speak here again next year, no, I think we will get the channelization, at least on our products, close to 100%. And advertising, also there, a big success. You mentioned Google. Now, we started speaking to Google 1.5, 2 years ago, and we really were willing to escalate it. No? So, well, it was not us declaring war, it was them. They took the money from wherever they can get it, and then we'll have this mission. No, we are only doing good. Bullshit. No, they're just making money as much as possible. No, they really give a damn about regulation, and we really confronted them to put the evidence, send it over to the German managing director, no, to really make them aware that we know everything, that we should, and that we also are willing to help. No, it was both on the same side. On the one hand, of course we put some pressure on them. On the other hand, we offered help. And how we did it with Google was quite simple. We, as a private operator, developed a monitoring system, and that monitoring system finds every hour new black market casino sites, and they are being automatically reported now to Google, and Google blacklists those domains that we report now to Google immediately. So the success is that, there's a decline in black market advertising on Google. 93 is the value, yeah, by 93%. And this is amazing. This is really, really amazing. So they thought now that they are done with us, but they're of course not. Now we are discussing the organic search results with them, because also there's quite some problem. No? So if you keep on indexing whatever is around and then saying, well, you can't stop the Google crawler from indexing websites, yeah, well, they can. Normally you don't find weapon shops or drug shops or child pornography if you type something into Google. Of course they can. No, it's not a big technological thing to, even if you have a whitelist in place, what we have in Germany, to check, no, there's a product using the word casino, no, is it on the whitelist or not? No? I would say any IT student the first semester can do it. No? So, but, well, they're of course not willing to do it because it, limit their reach, and so they're not happy about it, but we keep on pushing. So same is true, I will not go through all of them, but Meta, as the second most important, I would say, let's say we are in advanced talks. No? They're in this first stage where they don't want to see the problem. No? So we need to deliver more and more evidence, and also there we are building up a monitoring system that they get regular data from us automatically. And maybe just because it's really funny and I like the story, we talked to Bing. Bing is the search engine of Microsoft. And well, they're gaining quite a lot of market share at the moment because they're using AI technology to improve, well, the search results a lot. So that's why they're quite on an upwards trend. And they really asked us to sue them. Now, because we confronted them, and then they first said, no, we don't have any black market advertising. And then we showed them all the adverts that we have found in the meeting on their phones. And then they were, okay, but what can we do now? Because if we now put this to our headquarter in the US, it will take ages before they do something. What we need now is a really formal letter from the authority, from the court, from whomever, saying, Houston, here's a problem, that we need to do something. Only then, I guess Microsoft will react and change something. But this is the reality. And I think most of the operators are really shitting in their pants, are really afraid, although we are giving them a shitload of money every month to really state and saying, hey, we need to change the rules. Now, if you don't change the rules, well, then you have the situation as it is. But none of those big companies can really afford that a substantial part, I'm finishing soon, a substantial part of the revenues are generated in the black market, and also makes them then at least indirectly part of tax evasion schemes, etc., etc. So, well, maybe a conclusion?
Join us.
Yes.
Great initiative, Stefan, Christian. I think we got quite a few questions coming in, so I think the topic really is alive in the room. I think we'll look at 3 questions from the audience members here. So, do you expect other German operators, licensed operators, to join your trusted program soon? And are there any obstacles?
Yeah, we are in advanced talks to at least 3 operators. They have to test it or to, well, check it internally. There's always like a trade law discussion, etc., etc. So, but we have some legal opinions around that, so we don't think that it's a problem if they join us. But also, we are so, well, let's say liberal, you can also change the code of conduct if you like. You can change our seal if you like, according to your CI styles to make it look a bit different, so that it's not looking like we're acting together. But I think it's as such is no problem. We are only interested in the results, and the results is we want to go against the black market. That's it.
Very clear. So open for collaboration. Second question from one audience member was here. How do you address resellers, I guess aggregators, still delivering content from some of these providers to the unregulated market? So, aggregators.
Well, we have video evidence. So we have test accounts at many of the bigger black market casinos, and then we confront our game providers with that. And we do the following. So we do a recording where you can see our IP address at the time. Then you see how we are logging in, that we are starting the game, playing the game, and then we film the history so that we see the last, 10 sprints are really coming from this machine, and then the game provider can reverse engineer. Now, even if the IP address is disguised, but since we have to clear game sessions and we have a certain order, so it's easy, right?
Yeah, and with the game ID, I guess you can track it back. Excellent. Third question, last question. Should licensed operators participate in or exhibit at trade shows that offer space to black market suppliers? Question from the room.
No, I wouldn't do it, to be honest. We don't do it.
Okay.
We don't do it. No, so because it's waste of money, why? No, so also that keeps the ecosystem alive. We don't want to have alive. No, so there are some really mighty big congresses and exhibitions, but seriously, this is not our business, right? So if we go there, and as long as so much money can be earned by selling the spaces, the sponsorships, etc., this will continue. But we don't do that.
Okay, and that image of you made it very clear. Christian, yes. Stefan, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stefan,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. With this, we've arrived at our first break of the day. It took a while. I'm certain that there will be a lot to discuss. The coffee and refreshments are in the room where you entered, and we will gather back here, please, at 11:25 for another very interesting presentation. Thank you very much.